flour that's sifted.
Wow, amazing.
Everything from scratch. Yeah.
That's great. So, well, of course, what I would want to ask, you're talking about the most challenging experience. I wanted to know what's the most priceless experience from this. Like, I mean, what's something you really learned that you wouldn't have learned it elsewhere if you did something else?
Yes. I think that one of the priceless experiences for me would be making contact with my customers.
With your customers.
Yes. I think that there was a wealth there. You know, I had their numbers, I had their addresses, but more than that, I knew them, you know, and they knew me, and there was a relationship. So now that we've established our cafes and they look at Mary Grace, they see the story behind it.
Yeah.
They see the person behind it. They see how I worked so hard, you know, and they're just so happy to help me. I think that's one of the greatest things.
I think it's very fulfilling. Yeah.
Right. I'm so very grateful. So very
and I really like the story behind, you know, how you started and like right now. I mean, when you look at Mary Grace, as you said, you see that this is the fruit of all the hard work you've done and it was really you. I mean, and Mary Grace yourself. That's really great. So, I mean, about being an entrepreneur, what do you love the most about what you do right now? Aside from, of course, this is what you love to do. What are the other, say, perks of being an entrepreneur?
Uplifting people's lives. You know, it's not about the money. It's about walking into a room one morning and finding young people, training, and that just really fills you up, you know. I mean, you're making some mark in people's lives. You're helping, you know. You're making a difference.
Yeah, of course.
That's so gratifying. That's so very gratifying.
I think that's indeed. I couldn't couldn't object to that because I really believe in helping other people and not only helping just giving them donations but also improving the quality of their lives because I mean they have their own dreams and I think it's about helping each other achieve whatever the other one wants to achieve. So.
And then doing something about their English. I'm very particular about English. Doing something about their skills. Just uplifting them, making them better workers, better employees. Make them shine and
giving them the opportunity to
to get better. Simply just to get
become
better
people. Yeah. That's great.
Right.
At least, I mean, I really love to see you in the day that people are become very independent from when you see them the beginning they're very shy, they don't know what to do, and then now they're so independent, they're responsible, they know how to do things.
I trained girls from the province. They used to man my kiosk, you know, and they were very poor in English, but I'm so proud to say, I think they have learned adequate English. They can stand on their own 2 feet and face the customer, no matter who he or she is.
Especially now that I mean, how many kiosks do you have right now?
Well, right now we've got, at the end of the year, we'll have 6 cafes, and then we will continue to have 9 kiosks.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It is.
And where was your first kiosk?
In Glorieta. Yeah. Ayala gave me my first break. Yeah.
And so far, how has it been performing? Like all your kiosks, it's been going.
Yes, we don't have too many, so we can focus on the 9. We can train our people, so they're doing okay.
Yeah,
proud to say. Yeah.
It's also, it's also good to have a few branches first, and then as long as you can control the quality, because it's hard when you expand too fast.
Yeah, you just grow exponentially, and then you find out that you don't have the organization.
Yeah.
You don't have the people. I think you just
it will all
self-destruct.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It will all go down the drain.
Right. So we like to grow. I like to grow slowly but surely, in steps, in little steps. That's always how I was.
That's great. That's a good tip. So how did you envision your business in the beginning? Like when you started it, I'm sure you said you were going to bazaars, you wanted to get it out there, but did you? I mean, now that you said you have 9 kiosks and 6 cafes, were you able to envision this in the beginning, or did you want it to be just I want to have my own cafe, that's it? But I never really thought of being all over the place.
Well, really what I wanted was to hold that box and have the customers stand across me, and I'm handing that over the counter to her. You know, so that's a kiosk, and now that's a cafe. You know, 9 years later or 8 years later.
That's
You know, that's just my vision to bring the freshest of the ensaimadas and the cheese rolls from the oven. You know, there's a great satisfaction. Oh, it's delightful. You know, I wanted to bring that.
Wow, I'm getting hungry already.
You should try it. Even
yeah,
if
of course. I've
I know you're a health
no, it's okay.
health buff.
I'm a fan of your cafe. And
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so there. I mean, it's really very inspiring how I just that's why I was curious why. I mean, what was your vision and why you thought of it? Because I think it's very important for entrepreneurs in the beginning to really think of what they want to do. Because some people, you know, do business blindly. And like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, but they don't really know what the end goal is.
There must be, I think, a percentage or more, 80%, you know, of the vision there.
Yes.
I would think that 20% is a lot of, you know, the unknown,
Of
you know, but
course.
More or less you
know where you're going.
Yeah, you know, right.
But how were you able to, you know, what were the steps you took to get to that vision, to achieve that vision?
Right. Well, I started at home in my little kitchen. I was selling in the village. Then I was selling 2 villages in bazaars. Then I had my kiosk, and now we have our cafes.
Wow.
So it was moving from grade 1 finally. We're
high
still
school,
growing.
yeah.
Yeah, we're still growing.
Yeah, to post-grad.
Yeah. Not yet. Maybe,
Not yet.
Maybe
You're
when
still
we
at
have
the
100
university.
cafes, then that's post-grad. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. At least you knew how to do the expansion also, because I think that's one thing that
I had to go to school for it, and so I'm
Yeah.
really very happy. I did take a course, Masters in Entrepreneurship,
and it really helped.
Yeah, it really helped. It makes you kind of think. You know,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs
puts
have no
structure
time to
in,
think.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta
it's
find.
go,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
go na lang. This one, you gotta see it before you, and you gotta be able to write it down. You know,
Put all your
crystallize
thoughts,
it.
yeah.
And then
Make it more solid.
Yeah, make it more solid. You know.
So that's great. I mean, at least that really helped you, and I think it was a big, it's a big turnaround or big turning point.
The course.
The course. Yeah, so I was about to ask, what was the turning point in your business? I mean, you said that Glorieta handed you your first
you know, like
kiosk, but after that, what was the boom in the business?
Yeah, I was a home-based business, right? So I operated within the home. One can get very comfortable within the home.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
Firstly, you're not paying taxes.
I know.
The government understands that,
Yeah,
you know, all
of
these
course,
backyard
your
businesses,
SME,
right?
micro business.
Micro. And then there's that big leap to finally making yourself visible, truly visible in a name. With a name. I mean, we had a name, no, but legitimate and having a face.
Yeah, having a
know?
brand.
That for me was wow. That was I couldn't believe it when I was standing behind my little kiosk in Glorieta.
Yeah.
You know, I said, my God, I mean, this is the real world already.
Of course.
Yeah,
That's great.
Right.
So, okay, before we get to know more about Miss Mary Grace and her little secrets that are not so secret anymore, we'll pause for a commercial break.